Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here with OddsJam, here to give you some NBA player props for today. So there's only 2 games going on in the NBA tonight, so not a huge selection to choose from, but I did still find 2 that I really like, so we can get right into it. Of course, all of these bets I found using the OddsJam positive expected value page. An unfortunate reality of sports betting is that sportsbooks inherently have the edge over pretty much every single bet you place. They do this by charging a juice, by charging a vig, which you've probably heard by now. All you really need to know about it is it's the tax, essentially, that sportsbooks price odds. So the goal of a sportsbook is to get 50-50 payout on each side, whether it's an over or an under, or a team covers or doesn't cover, whatever. They just want 50-50 payout on each side, and then they charge 3 to 5 to 7% juice to each market, and then they make that difference. So sportsbooks inherently have the edge over you by charging a juice. So gaining the edge back over the sportsbook is incredibly valuable. Now, some people do this by doing their own modeling, right? Like they write their own scripts and they model the games themselves. That's an option. It's incredibly difficult to be better than the sportsbooks at modeling, but if there are individuals that are smart enough that can do that successfully, what I like to do, and this is where OddsJam comes into play, just pull up all of the sportsbooks on one screen and take advantage of the sportsbooks that have mispriced odds. So basically say, hey, we're not going to be smarter than the sportsbooks, so we're just going to use them against each other. And I can get right into it and how the system works and why it's so profitable. Number one, I do want to say, so it says the odds of the bet have changed, but we are getting, the bet is at minus 107, still minus 107, so we're good to go there. But what I will say, in starting at the top, the play itself is Trey Murphy under 21.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. So this is in one of the 2 games that we have going on tonight, Spurs versus Pelicans. Trey Murphy, obviously, for the Pelicans. And the math behind it, why I know that this play has an edge, aside from the fact that it's on the positive EV page, is this no vig odds column here. So these odds are pulled from the sharpest sportsbooks in the world. You can view these no vig odds, in this case, the minus 107.93 right here, minus 108 we can round up to, as the true line of what a market should truly be priced at. I like to call it the OddsJam perfect line. And I mentioned that they're pulled from the sharpest sportsbooks in the world. So the way it works is OddsJam back-tested thousands of betting opportunities over a long period of time to determine what sportsbooks do the best job. So it's not anecdotally like, oh, we think, based on yesterday's results that these are the sharpest. No, it's based on a long period of time, enough sample size, and enough sample data as well. So the logic being, not every single sportsbook is created equal in terms of pricing odds, right? Some do a better job than others. Let's find out who the smart ones are, and let's use them to set the market moving forward. So the best, the sharpest, the smartest, whatever you want to call it, sportsbooks in the world think that this should be priced at minus 108. We are getting it at minus 107. And that's the math behind it. That's why this play has an edge. And the additional research that you want to do into a play before you lock it in, and when I say research, I don't mean check his projections, check his matchup. I don't mean any of that. I just mean look at all the sportsbooks on one screen, as I mentioned at the beginning, right? The bet that we are placing, this Bet Rivers one, we want to look, is the bet we are placing an outlier compared to the rest of the sportsbooks or not? And look at the Bet Rivers line compared to the rest of the sportsbooks, right? Pinnacle prices this at minus 127. Pinnacle, in terms of sharp sportsbook, is the sharpest. So sportsbook is given the heaviest weight, Pinnacle sportsbook is given the heaviest weight. Prices this at minus 127. That's good. Bet Online, another sharp sportsbook, prices this at minus 123. That's good. And then we have DraftKings and Caesars price it at minus 125. We are getting minus 107. Every other book prices this from, looks like 16 to 20 to 30. Actually, no, you can ignore underdog. We can ignore underdog. So basically from 16 to 20 cents higher than the Bet Rivers line. So yes, this is an outlier across all of the sports books, right? If you're just thinking about it from a logical scenario, if one sportsbook has different odds than every other sportsbook, the most likely scenario here is that this sportsbook just has this, it's mispriced, right? They have mispriced odds. And this is an example of a bet that you would want to take advantage of, right? If you're consistently betting on outliers, betting on books that have mispriced odds, that is how you will be profitable in the long run. You're not going to win every single bet. Unfortunately, that's the nature of sports betting, is you're not going to profit every single day, month, week, whatever, but it will be profitable in the long run. And that's the first play, right? Trey Murphy under 21.5 points, rebounds, assists. In the next play, we are fading. We're taking Trey Murphy to go under his PRA. It also looks like his point total is, his under point total is positive EV as well. This is at plus 100 on BetRivers. Novig odds have this for minus 100.15. So plus 100 is basically equals 50-50. We're getting it the sharp sports books think it's a little bit more likely to occur, which makes sense because when you compare the markets, Pinnacle has this at minus 119, favoring the under, right? If you look at both sides of how Pinnacle prices this, they have the underpriced at minus 119, they have the overpriced at minus 111. They have the under as the more expensive option, which leads you, or which I guess is them telling you that they think the under is more likely. Same thing with BetOnline. The under is more likely. Same thing with DraftKings and Caesars. Looks like two other books, PointsBet and FanDuel, don't have the under as the more likely scenario at minus 105 and minus 106, but this plus 100 is a pretty good price, right? It is an outlier compared to the sharp sports books and the majority of them. So this is another good play. Trey Murphy under 14.5 points. And that's going to be it. That's going to be my 2 NBA player props for today, the Trey Murphy fade day. And so if you're tailing, comment and let me know. Would love to hear it. Other than that, I would appreciate if you could like the video, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, all that good stuff. Helps me out a ton. And that's it. So enjoy the NBA slate tonight, only 2 games, and have a good one.